problems are problems that have built up over decades, and there hasn't been a Congress that's been mature enough or a president that's been mature enough to take this head on.
I could end the deficit in 5 minutes. You just pass a law that says that anytime there's a deficit of more than 3% of GDP, all sitting members of Congress are ineligible for re-election. Yeah. Now you've got the incentives in the right place, right? So it's capable of being done. And they're trying to use the incentive now that we're going to blow your brains out, America, in terms of your debt worthiness over time, and that's being used as a threat. A more effective threat would be just to say, if you guys can't get it done, we'll get some other guys to get it done.
And there you have it from one of the notably most famous and well-known and respected investors, Warren Buffett. And he's sitting there telling you that he could end the deficit in 5 minutes. And how does he plan on doing that? To incentivize the politicians, to incentivize the leaders, to incentivize the owners of the printing press to be more effective, be more mindful, and be more pointed in how you manage the deficit. Can they knock it down? Yes. Do they want to? No. They keep printing into oblivion. This is why Bitcoin is a major asset that's needed in a portfolio. If not a majority of the portfolio, if you have a little bit, it's definitely the schmuck insurance or the hedge to debasement of the US dollar. What's happening, crypto crew? Sean's coming back at you, another cryptocurrency video. Getting straight into it. Take a look at the Bitcoin price. We just see that Bitcoin has been respecting this blue line, respecting as resistance, bounce off, bounce off. Look, right now we bounced off and got back above that moving average, that 20 moving average. When we're above that 20 moving average, this means that this is definitely a bullish indication. Every time we get back above the moving average, we go up to the upside. Every time we come back, retest it, grind along a little bit, blast off. Look at, we just had that bullish cross. Every time we see that bullish cross, that 200 moving average, definitely a bullish momentum. The RSI is definitely pointing up and to the right. Benjamin Cohen has an update in January of 22. 1 Bitcoin equaled 12 ETH. And then 1 Bitcoin, 26,088. 1 Bitcoin, 258 Solana. 1 Bitcoin, 1,500 DOT. So roughly about 16 months later, a year and a half, you're looking at 1 Bitcoin, 16, 1 Bitcoin, 104 ADA, 1 Bitcoin, 1,400 and 5,800. Compare here to here. Bitcoin has been outpacing the market. This is why Bitcoin dominance is important. So in taking a look at the Bitcoin dominance is in overbought territory right now at 51.51%. Been stair-stepping our way up, and we put in a higher high. Because we're in overbought territory doesn't mean that Bitcoin's done. It hasn't got even back above this 200 moving average. Back before, when Bitcoin was oversold, it stair-stepped its way up, came and got in overbought territory, came back and then put in a higher high, and that's when it hit its head, but then also came back up to put one more high in before the bear market. Right now, we're just getting started. Could Bitcoin break out of this downwards resistance? That's a possibility. We could see one more pull down to this red line potentially to blast up through this. We flip this resistance to support, then have higher price action, or Bitcoin could come up here and come back down. We could see a major alt season, alt rally. So this is definitely important, definitely something to pay attention to. Bitcoin dominance is how you have to sort of trade your portfolio, whether you're holding more Bitcoin, more alts, make it make sense. And then another update coming in from Crypto Bull God, why he believes the 4-year cycle theorist. The herd will be wrong. And what he's saying is we've been since 2019 in an ABC correction, and then we have this blast off. This is the third leg, another ABC correction, and that fifth leg, taking us up to between 100 and 140,000. Definitely bullish for Bitcoin. That's what he's calling for. And another update from Game of Trades, a move above the 4% on the 10-year Treasury yield caused the last two blowups in the financial markets. The UK pension fund and the US regional banks. Look what happened. The UK pension fund was back here in October of 2022. We got back above this. That's when the pension funds blew up. We've seen a retracement. Right here is when we've seen the US regional banks blow up. Then we've seen a retracement. Now right here, what's the next domino to fall in the house of cards? Because as you see, we come up. We've been seeing this resistance. We could have a bump and run, but all in all, this is definitely bearish, seeing that something could explode. Is it going to be a stock market crash? Is the real estate housing bubble going to crash? Is it going to be residential, commercial? Time will definitely tell. But Jesse Olsen weighs in and says the price of Bitcoin is still in DCA zone. So anywhere below this blue line is the DCA zone, dollar cost average buy Bitcoin. Anywhere, and then reap the benefits once it breaks out. Every single time, reap the benefits. Every single time, reap. Every single time. We're not there yet, but look where this yellow line is. If we come back up to it right now, today, 149,000. If Bitcoin gets back above this and sees higher price action, right now Bitcoin is not back above this blue line yet. This is 22,000. This is an older chart, so 30,000 is where we are right now. Could we get above this? And as we come up to the upside, you see this yellow line moves up. Every single time it moves up and we blast through it. So could we see a $200,000 Bitcoin? That's definitely in the cards. And then another update from TA Trader Allen on bi-weekly Heiken Ashi Bitcoin chart. It's clear that Bitcoin moves with periods of green and red dominant. Alternatively, at the moment we see Bitcoin has just started the period of green dominant, and this will bring into a new all-time high. So what you see red dominant, green dominant, red dominant overtakes the green, boom. Green dominant overtakes the red, boom. Red dominant, green dominant, red dominant, and look where you are right now. Green dominant. We want to see some more green to the upside, a little bit of red, more green. Green's going to be taking over. So how high will this go for the next peak? It's most likely going to be above that $100,000 threshold. So keep this in mind and be prepared. Another update from TA Trader Allen, and what he's saying is he's waiting for that $300,000 Bitcoin. He just seen his upwards trend momentum, and we hit this upside, downside, upside, downside. Now are we going to see a $300,000 Bitcoin? That could be what is in the cards. So make sure you stay tuned and stay put. And while you're seeing this Bitcoin adoption is occurring, you have received 5K stats. Look how old this phone is. This is somewhere probably in Africa, somewhere of an impoverished country, and they're utilizing Bitcoin. They're doing their day-to-day operations, day-to-day sales. They're paying their friends, paying their family in Bitcoin, paying businesses in Bitcoin. This is taking over the world, and this is still the first inning. We have not seen global mass adoption happen yet. The Bitcoin ETF could be in the cards. The big boys are waiting on the sidelines to play, and when that money comes in, it's definitely going to be extremely bullish and to the upside. So if you're just waiting and you haven't put any money into the market, what are you waiting for? You're seeing rents have went up, you're seeing foods went up, you're seeing the price of gas, everything across the world in every jurisdiction, everything is moving up as far as price goes. So that means your dollars are getting weaker. Whether your dollar is the yen, whether it's the euro, whether it is the US dollar, any peso, it is weakening against purchasing power of hard assets and assets you need, such as food. How can you save this purchasing power? Save in Bitcoin. Bitcoin is that hedge against debasement. If you don't get it, you don't get it. If you get it, you get it. And with that, I'm Sean with the Bitcoin Bros. If you guys like this content, go ahead and smash the like button. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and show us some love. We appreciate the support. With that, that's all I have for you today, and I'm out.